So they announced new balance changes, and so I was like, you know what, let's just pull up some battleships, and we're playing a nerf commander. Damn. Anyways, I'm just gonna go through the balance, and honestly, I'm really impressed by the balance changes. The balance changes are actually like hard hitting, and they actually touched weapons directly instead of just modifying the commanders around the weapons and hoping that fixes the problem. But no, for the first time since I started playing this game, for the first time to my memory, they touched the cannon. They nerfed cannons. I've never seen them like touch like directly cannons. Like they nerf commanders around cannons, but usually they don't touch directly on the cannons. And they increased the firing cost from 3,350 or 3,500. So 3,000 to 3,500. So an increase of 17% on the energy firing cost. That is pretty catastrophic. So I mean, it makes sense. We weren't seeing very many like 20 millimeters or anything around that these days because everybody was just building cannons because they were just better. Even in ranked 1v1s at decently close to range, except for like stalactites, maybe where there was like a 20 millimeter build occasionally. Are they really metagaming with? They're metagaming with mortars, but then they don't have turbines. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. And they are also fibered. They do have active. EMP rockets increase AA claims at less than 1.2 seconds from 3 to 4. I don't exactly know what that means, to be honest. I know AA claims means that like only 3 gunners can claim it, so I'm assuming now that 4 gunners can claim it, but I'm not sure what the timing has to do with it. And then flak makes 2 claims to incoming projectiles to save allocating gunners. So that means the flak is worth 2 claims instead of 1 claim. So then, like, I'm assuming that means on the EMP, then 1 flak will fire at it, and then 2 gunners will fire at it if there's 4 claims on it. I'm assuming that's what that means. Not exactly sure. Incendiary mortar and heavy mortar reload speed reduced from 100% to 50% on Hurricane active. That's huge. I was abusing that in my last stream because I was like, I'm in the tester Discord, so I know what nerfs are coming, and I was like, no, what? This balance change is actually nerfing the overpowered shit. What? No. Then I had to play it a few times. So that is an absolute travesty. No more just overwhelming the entire enemy team in like 3.5 seconds with mortars, which is like, you know, probably fine on Hurricane. And Hurricane machine guns overheat after 3 bursts. I'm not exactly sure how that changed. I wasn't exactly too familiar with machine gun Hurricanes beforehand. Not exactly sure what that means either. And then another balance is that incendiary and heavy mortar increase shootdown radius from 15 to 20. That means that it's much easier to shoot down mortars now. Like, because before a lot of projectiles would just miss the mortar like projectile itself when they try to shoot it down. But now that's not gonna happen because again, it's radius and not diameter. So that 20% is more like, I don't know. It's like 20% squared. So I don't know. It's more than 20%. So it's gonna be a lot easier to shoot down mortars. Case in point here. Well, I guess they didn't. If they don't shoot it right, then there's no point doing case in point, anyways. Where am I at? And then actually another interesting thing. So mortars got nerfed, but machine guns also got nerfed. Decreased heat period from 1.8 to 1.5, and increased overheat cool period from 7.5 to 11 seconds. That means when you fire all your gunners, like so, come on, that they take 11.5 seconds to come back up. 11.5 seconds. Yeah, that is so long. So we got both a mortar nerf and a gunner nerf, which is, you know, just suggesting that perhaps they want us to use other weapons. Perhaps they don't want us using mortars, or they want to see less mortars and more of other shoot-downable weapons. Anyways, we'll get to that. And then moonshine increased gouge damage hit points from 1,500 to 3,100. That means previously, if you got shot once with a cannon and you were moonshine, you could pretty much always just slap down active and EMP the entire enemy base, which was, don't get me wrong, that was great. That was amazing. Just being moonshine, just be like, I got hit once by a cannon. Say goodbye to anything in your base ever functioning. I can in fact EMP the entire thing, and then you guys can't have fun at all. I mean, it sucked to be on the receiving end of that, but that's how moonshine works. Then they basically make it so you need to get shot twice instead of once, which is, you know, that's pretty valid. Moonshine nerf is pretty cool. Overdrive, this is the huge one. Reduce active duration from 14 seconds to 10 seconds. That is what I like to see. That is huge right there. No more just everybody playing Overdrive because it's statistically the best commander. I mean, Overdrive's still going to be strong here, But the active has been reduced. Like, as you can see here, this active is now a lot shorter than it used to be. You don't just get infinite resources. You now get slightly less than infinite resources, which is like, you know, still a lot. It's still very good. Are they? What is happening right now? So that is definitely going to be an interesting thing. I'm hoping that I don't have to ban Overdrive every time in my lobbies anymore because, you know, he has been nerfed, but we'll see. I still think in 4v4s he's going to be overwhelmingly still one of the more powerful commanders, even with the nerf, but we will see. Anyways, Phantom, during Phantom active, time to move a device, or just a device or a weapon. I'll have to check the devs for that. Time to move a device has been reduced from 2 seconds to 1 second. That is fine. I don't think it's going to change anything about Phantom, because it's not a passive that it's only during active. So it's like, you know, if you can only move your weapons without them risking getting shot during active, it's not going to make your weapons very useful. And then Phantom still has no damage or eco nerfs. You know, outside of the Magnum one, I can't forget about the Magnum one, right? The Phantom Magnums, in fact, do damage. That is true. But nobody plays Phantom Magnums anyways. Oh, damn, double door snipe. That is unfortunate. As nobody plays Phantom Magnums anyways, I don't think it's gonna matter at all. I think everybody's gonna be like, okay, kind of a moot point. Whatever. Anyways, and then I'm sad to say, they also touched Pinchfist Metal Reclaim. From when I started to play the game, they never touched this. This was his whole personality. He's having 100% Metal Reclaim on passive, and they just collapsed their base. But now it's been reduced to 75%, which is terrible. And they also have but they did reintroduce a 5% eco boost. I don't think that's going to compensate it, because the whole point about Pinch was getting stuff out fast and kind of slowly dying off in the late game. So I guess it makes them better in the late game, but also worse in the early game. It's kind of weird. I think this is not going to be great for Pinchfist. I think we're going to see less Pinchfist play. I'm kind of sad about that, but I haven't been playing Pinchfist regardless. I've been playing Spook recently, so kind of a moment. And then actually I'll catch you the next game with the rest of the balance changes. And we are back in the new game. Anyways, I swear the devs are traitors here, because not only did they nerf cannons, but can you guess what they buffed? That's right, they buffed plasma beams. They reduced the firing cost from 4,500 or 5,000 to 4,500. So 500 less metal to cost or energy to fire, which is, you know, that's actually pretty huge. It's going to make it so that it's more competitive with the cannon, just in pure damage. I don't think it's going to dethrone cannons. I think cannon stacking is still going to be the most popular thing to do, or the best thing to do on like vanilla type maps. However, it is definitely an interesting thing right there. So plasma lasers got buffed. The traders at Earthwork Games, not Workshop Games. Oh my god. Brain sees that plasma beam gets buffed and is like, no, we are going on strike now. That is illegal. I don't want to see more plasma beams and door sniping in my games. Anyways, here's the hugest change in this balance patch. At least because I was complaining about this for like actual years now. Is that rocket energy firing cost got reduced from 1,200 to 1,000. That is huge. A machine gun nerf, a mortar nerf, but a rocket buff? I mean, and with Overdrive, Hurricane, and Moonshine getting pretty, and Pinchfist getting pretty hurt, I'm feeling Buster's gonna make a huge comeback. He's not like he needs to make a comeback. He's already pretty present. Oh, is that a double door snipe? Oh, that's pretty epic. I'm feeling Buster's gonna make a huge, because Buster, by definition, has the strongest rockets. And now rockets are very, very strong, because machine guns just got nerfed, and rockets, got buffed, and Buster rockets were meta on some maps already. So I have a feeling in ranked we're gonna see a lot more Buster and Buster rockets. But hey, you know, that those would just be false. I don't exactly know for sure. So rocket firing cost getting reduced is actually huge, because also if you have 3 rockets, you don't need an extra battery. Before, if you had 3 rockets, you need an extra battery because it would cost 3,600 energy to fire, which is over 3,000, assuming you start with no battery in the map. Now, if you have 3 rockets and you fire, it only costs 3,000 energy. You can save on a whole ass battery. It is pretty good. It is actually pretty. It's a pretty huge buff, and I'm hoping we're gonna see more rockets being played. Rockets weren't meta for like since when I started the game, which was like 2021, 2020. So I'm hoping we go back to that meta. That meta was fun. You know, not just cannon stacking indefinitely. I know you guys like cannon stacking for some reason. You're like, wow, being shot by a cannon for 8 minutes. that's riveting. But personally, for me, meh. I enjoy the more raid and raging rocket RNG. That's kind of where the fun comes in for me. Anyways, and then another balance. Sniper projectiles reflect off shields perfectly at moderately shallow angles. I don't know if that's going to change anything. I think it's going to be like, oh my god, it just reflected off the shield that everybody ignores it because it didn't really do anything. I don't know when you're ever going to find a shield at moderately shallow angles. Like, usually shields are just vertical. So I don't know what that's going to do. And then another buff to, another rocket buff actually to Warthog. Warthog rockets gain plus 25% damage and splash damage. I don't think it's going to be as good as Buster Rockets. So Buster Rockets, not only do they get the Buster Rocket active, but they also get Shrapnel. And Shrapnel is so freaking strong. What, no. Get out of here. We're not, I don't know why we're selling that off. So I don't think that's gonna change anything in terms of gameplay for Buster, or for Rocket. I mean, for Warthog, Jesus Christ. It's going to be cool. Going to give him some early game options. However, I think if we're going to go Rockets, you still prefer Buster. I guess then you could go some... We're putting cannons here, but... We're putting cannons here, like so. Anyways, I think it's going to give him some early game options, which I think is good. Buster has been relatively known as a pure late game commander. So having one early game weapon, which just got buffed, could definitely be interesting. Those were all the balance changes. At least the ones worth going over. That was not what the ones where I'm literally looking at. That was every single balance change. This is actually pretty huge. I haven't seen the devs do anything this extreme since I started playing the game, except for maybe the commander. I don't know. Actually, the commander change didn't touch the weapons directly. This update touched modified the most weapons in the most direct way I have ever seen. Like, I have been begging for for a rocket buff for years. I have proof, and my Discord is crashed. Okay, I can't present the proof right now, but you're just gonna have to trust me that I was campaigning for a rocket buff for a long time now, and I finally got it, and I am extremely happy about it. And also, Overdrive nerf just getting hurt a lot. It's pretty huge. However, the biggest competitor to Overdrive on the meta stage was Pinchfist, at least in 44s, assuming everybody knows how to play Pinchfist, which is something that, you know, doesn't always happen. You know, there's a lot of times where in pro lobbies where everybody goes Pinchfist and then absolutely just crushes the other team by getting out like a shitload of cannons very early and just picking off one enemy by one, because you have 8 cannons bearing down on you at like 5 minutes, and you can't defend 8 cannons at 5 minutes. It's just impossible, at least for one person who has one person's ego. And that's how Pinch was able to compete with Overdrive. But now Pinchfist got nerfed. Overdrive also got nerfed. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Does it already update here? Does it not say this? Oh, yeah, Rocket on active. Yeah, it does say that on active. But I mean, I still think with Warthog specifically, I mean, I have a feeling that missiles are going to be kind of still the better choice. Just nukes, because of the greater thrust is pretty huge, and not only does it get greater thrust as a passive, it also gets the damage buff on active, so it is pretty strong. Okay, I'm just gonna get some of these guys going here, and continue firing the cannons. So very happy. Am I 100% happy about the range, about all the changes? No, I think Pinchfist got hit too hard. I think Pinchfist is going to be very hurt by this update. Pinchfist is not being played. There's a lot of other commanders being played recently. At least last time I played ranked, I didn't see a single Pinchfist. It was all Overdrive. Shit. It was all Overdrive and Hurricane. That's it. Both Overdrive and Hurricane got nerfed, which is good. However, I was not seeing a lot of Pinchfist. Pinchfist is definitely still strong. However, I think they did them a little bit too dirty there. I mean, at least that's how I see it. I'm at least gonna have to go into, like, we're gonna have to find new builds for Pinchfist, because currently all the ones that relied on the previous builds was kind of now worthless, because the metal reclaim percentage got changed, which is kind of like okay, I guess, but I don't know, changes, not a big fan. Also, they added this little thing to shotgun, so you can see the spread, which is also pretty cool. That wasn't in the balance changes, because that's not a balance change. That's like a new feature. Like, doesn't change the outline of shotguns or anything. It's just kind of a thing now. Anyways, what is that? Get out of here. Anything else I can yap about balance changes? Not really. I think I covered pretty much everything. Overall, very happy if the devs start doing more drastic balance changes each update. Like, if they just keep modifying each weapon this drastically in each update, like, the gunner change is actually just massive. The gunner change is going to be very interesting. I don't want to see the ripple effects, because I have a feeling we may see a lot of popular nukes now. Because, well, nukes are... Hold on, I have to pay it. I have to shoot this guy down. Alright, Future Cloud here. This game lasted 45 minutes, because I lost all my cannons here. So I'm just going to skip straight to the end, because this was never meant to be a gameplay video. It was meant to be a balance change video. I also missed this thing. There's a new transfer pad that allows you to move stuff into your teammates' bases if you're Phantom. I don't think it's going to change much, but it's cool. Coming back from this one was certainly a mental challenge. Especially consider that guy who just sat on the miniguns the whole game and kind of just shut down everything I ever tried to do. Is this still getting through? No. I was like, if that got through... Oh, we're done. Oh my god. Holy fuck, man. 500,000 damage. Jesus. Christ. Well, I thought that was the balance changes. And also a goddamn long-ass Battleships game there. Holy shit. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was the game. Maybe I'll catch you in the next one. See you guys.